I read a news report that they've arrested some 15,000 protesters, if I'm right, but I don't know. I read the number. The number could vary by a significant deal. They passed a law where these, the parliamentarians or whatever that kangaroo parliament is there, they say that, execute them all. And they're saying 15 or 16 could be executed within a week or something. But then the fear is there could be, there could be thousands of people who get executed. Well, what's the update on that? Pakistan Defense Force, we'll come back to that in a second. But just answer this question that I asked you, because I really want to know, and I want to take the clip out.
Okay, so the execution is not going to be 15,000. Okay, that would be the end of the Islamic Republic of Iran if they 15. No, I mean it was just the executions going up to 200 or 300 already would be the end of the Islamic Republic. That would bring people to the streets by the millions. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, there will be executions, of course, but not to 15,000. So it's ridiculous, because there's 15,000 people arrested, and they're saying like we should execute every single one of them, and we know that's not going to happen. Not now. I mean, maybe in the 1980s that would happen, but now, if it happens today, that would be the end. Like the people would be like, okay, like every single person that was thinking about coming into the street and hasn't yet come to the street, it would be, that would not happen, and they know that's.
So is it just another one of the scare tactics where they're just saying that just to discourage people, because the protests are still ongoing?
Yeah, the protests are still ongoing, and it's let me clear. I'm not saying these people are not murderers and bloodthirsty. They already killed like more than 400 people and 50 kids. They have killed 50 kids. They have killed 50 kids so far. 50 kids. Okay, so that's how bloodthirsty these people are. Okay, but the reason why they said that is because a lot of pro-regime people have been saying that, why is the government not doing more to stop the protests? Let me actually unhighlight this so I can talk about this. Why is the government not doing more? Like a lot of the pro-regime people are like, execute them all, shoot them all in the street. Why is the government treating these protesters with kids' gloves, which is ridiculous because they killed so many people already. But the government does deny the fact that they killed innocent people. The government hasn't even admitted to a single one of them. Every single one of them, like, this person died, jumped from the high rise. This person was bitten by a dog. This person had a heart attack. So now when the Iranian protesters are killing government officials, like I've seen videos of like them like killing government officials and armed forces in the street, and they're like, oh my god, look at him committing a suicide, that's so sad. Like Iranian people are making fun of that, like, oh my god, oh no, he's having a heart attack right in the middle of the street, and you can see like people are beating him to death, like they're making fun of the government narratives, because like, you say that when you kill our people, you say they're committing suicide or bitten by a dog, so we do the same to you. And like there was one guy that was like killed, like the people left him dead in the middle of a highway, and like people were making fun or saying like, oh no, he look at him, he fell from a high building, even though he was in the middle of a highway. So
he did what Putin does.
No, but guys, I'm not, by the way, YouTube, I'm just describing what's happening in Iran. I'm not like talking about encouraging anybody to commit violence. I'm just describing what's happening. Okay. But so a lot of the pro-regime people are demanding the representatives in the parliament, which is called the Majlis, to do more, because this parliament is the most right wing, like the most hardline parliament that Iran has had for a while, right? So they represent the part of Iranians who are pro-regime and are hardliners. So they look at their constituents and they're like, they don't care about the rest of Iranian people. They care about their base, which is the hardliners and very religious people. And they're like, oh, kill more of them, execute more of them. So because they want to make them happy, they want to act like, they want to show their constituents that we are like, look at us. We're telling the government, like, we are angry at the government too. Like, most Iranians are angry at the government because they're killing people. This side people are angry at the government because they're killing more people. And they're like, yeah, we're like putting the government under pressure, like execute every single one of them in prison, which is a really bad look for the regime, because now it's parliament, which is supposed to be representing the people, is now demanding for more executions, right? So that's a game. It's a political game of narratives that is being played to show like they're tough and strong. That's what's happening.
Yeah, well, let's hope this regime is toppled before they shed any more innocent blood. But I'm shocked because I remember when this started happening back in September, when Mahsa Amini was killed. We've been talking ever since about that, and I was always worried about that it's eventually going to lose steam, and people. But I saw a video on Mahsa Ali Nejad's Twitter feed. I follow it quite regularly, and then it's still happening. There was thousands.
It's turning into a war zone. It's actually escalating. I thought it was going to die down slowly. It's now escalating. It's escalating to the point where now the other side is losing soldiers. Like, they're dying. Even though the people's side doesn't have any guns and stuff, we're getting
overpower them. They're outnumber them and overpower them. Yeah.
Look at. I can't show you most of the video. Harris, let me show you let me show you after the stream the videos that I can't show you here, okay? Right. Because they're like beating them and they're taking off their pants and then letting them run bloody and butt naked in the street, okay, with their pee-pees
penises, shalongs hanging out.
Yeah, because they know that's like that embarrassment is worse than death.
Is it also possible, because obviously, as you said, like, the government is not going to kill 15,000 people, but also at the same time, the Iranian protesters or people are not going to be able to kill every single revolutionary guard. But do you think, is it possible the mutiny is on the cards? Is it possible that people may say, like these guards may say, you know what, screw this, I'm not going to die, because now they're also worried about it. They're also scared that, hang on, I could be lynched by an angry mob.
They're coming and saying it publicly and transparently. They say, like, we used to shoot and they run away. Now we shoot and they charge at us. They're saying that publicly. They're like,
so when are they going to flip that? Do you think they're going to flip at any minute? Like, is it possible? Can we actually now think about it?
Yeah. Okay. So people have.
I don't want you to be overly optimistic. I want you to be a bit realistic. Keep your emotion in check.
Okay. The actual answer is that it could happen tomorrow, in 2 years, in 5 years. But there's no, or even more. Like, there's no. It's kind of like. It's been described kind of like putting an axe to a tree, and you don't know which one of these hits, like, is going to make. Yeah, you just know you have to keep going at it, and eventually it will fall, but you don't know which one of them. Like, when you hear the cracking, like, eventually, like, it could be 48 hours before you know, okay, it's coming down. But
is it fair to say that, okay, a year ago, or I think the last set of protests happened in 2019 or 18. At that time, I think you were pretty confident that nothing's going to come out of that. And I was saying that, okay, maybe not this time, but in the next set of protests it will. And then we probably thought at the same time that maybe we'll need 3 or 4 more sets of protests. But now...
I said nothing is going to happen unless something major changes. And something major changes.
Right, okay. Yeah. So my point about you even saying this time around that it could actually happen tomorrow, it means this is something that was unheard of or unimaginable in the last set of protests. We thought that the regime was so strong that there's nothing could bring it down. But now it's like, hey, sorry, man, I'm on your side. Imagine God throws his gun down and says, I'm on your side. I've got nothing to do with the regime. That is more likely now.
I have videos of one of them being beaten, and he was like saying, like, I'm not even with them. Like, it's like so humiliating. But the chances have increased significantly to the point that I can't even imagine this regime lasting. Like, I cannot even imagine. Like, I'm not saying it wouldn't happen. I just say I can't imagine it, right? But there are a lot of signs within the regime that shows that they don't want to. There a lot of them defecting, and a lot of them are disobeying command. Like, they're getting commands to suppress the protests, and they're just not acting like they didn't get a command, right? And also, there is something that we didn't know that is now evident, is that the regime was bluffing about its power, okay? Because the regime was like, every time there's a protest, they only send a fraction of their forces to suppress a protest, and if they could bring, like, they have so much more military power, and they could crush the protest anytime they want, okay? Now, after 3 months of protests, it's clear that actually they have used everything they got, because they wouldn't just let 3 months of protests happen and their people died. Like, some of their top people have died through these protests. This is not something that the regime could be like, oh, we could just clean this up if we wanted to, but we're just letting it go. Sure. Like, they're not. Obviously, they are incapable of cleaning this up. So that idea of them having a lot of power in reserve that they could use anytime is now a theory that is completely out the window. This is everything they can do. People are like, oh my God, this is actually their limit. They're bringing children. They're arming kids as a way to suppress protesters, which just shows like, oh my God, you guys are actually running out of manpower. We didn't know you had so little manpower. But let me show you how bold people are coming. This is one of the only few videos that I could show you, because everything else I want to show you about how bold people are getting will get us censored on YouTube. Like, I can't show it to you. It's too bloody and too brutal, okay? But look at this, okay? So we have had these Basiji kids going after women for the past 40 years and harassing them, okay? Look how everything has flipped now. Just look at this. This is one of those Basiji kids who's trying to like religious police people who wearing plain clothes and go and tell people to be Islamically moral and stuff. Look, this guy tried to do the same thing to this girl, but now look at this.
He's been grabbed by a woman. Now let me put a book on you.
Oh, look what he did. So what he does, the Basijis, when they notice that somebody from the protesters is doing something wrong, they go and remove the number from the car, the license plate number from the car, as a way to go and report them like, oh, I have this was the person that did something wrong. So she got out of the car and she started beating the guy. She started beating the morality police guy who took it away. Somebody's like, let him go. She was like, why should I let him go? He removed the plate number.
So he took the plate number. Oh,
like, why are you afraid?
So they can come and harass her.
Yeah.
So they can come back and harass her, or just
look. People are saying let him go. She's like, why would I let him go?
Why are people saying let him go? People should be like, oh,
because
there you go.
Some people are like against violence and stuff, but he's like, I'm not gonna let him go. And like, she's asking him, why are you afraid? Why are you afraid? He's afraid.
He's just a kid himself.
Yeah, look at his face.
Where's your beard? Where's your beard? Armin, that's the younger version of you.
Look at him. Look at him. He can not imagine. He's like, what? I did not. This is not what I signed up for. Look at him. Like, these women are fierce.
They told me that I will have power and I can harass women, but whoa, I'm being beaten up here.
Oh my God! Look at this guy.
Okay, this is just satire. We're not condoning any violence on YouTube. We're just reviewing a video. No harm's done. Everything's fine. But
we're just reporting what's happening.
We're just reporting what happened, and yeah. We're not laughing.
To have your questions answered on the next live stream, become my patron today. You can do so with as little as $1 a month. Link in the description below.